Hello, everyone. My name is Joey, and I'm a compulsive eater. Today, I take responsibility for my actions. That means I weigh and measure 3 meals of that amazing gray sheet. I write them down. I call and commit to my sponsor on time. I don't eat no matter what. And abstinence, truly abstinence, is my primary purpose for today. Um, Life wasn't that bad, from JFK to Ireland. This is my first time going to Ireland. Um, just a side story. In my younger years, I was the black sheep in my family, and I have an aunt who lives in Austria, and she wanted me to change my life. So my parents shipped me to Austria. So I stayed in Austria. I went to London, but I've never been to Ireland. So, it's nice to be with people like you, and I really appreciate that. So that's the joke that I want to do because I'm not a good joker. Well, it's always like I'm always anxious when I have, new faces. I see a lot of the old faces that I have. Thank you. The new faces, I'm Joey. I'm just another bozo on the bus. That's what I always say. My abstinent date is June 7, 2013. One day at a time. Yeah, I remember that time. God, it was summertime. I was angry, lonely, and tired. My heaviest weight was 270 pounds. And when I came into this program, I have this intention that I just want to lose the weight. I have no idea what GreySheeters was about. I just want to lose the weight. Give me the food plan, whatever you guys do, because I knew somebody who was my first sponsor, and I see the changes. We live in a co-op complex, and we have a gym. I would see her every day. She would lose the weight. She would gain the weight. But lately, for the past year, I just saw her just like, glowing, what you call the gray sheet glow. And she's not gaining the weight. So I said, wow, what is she doing? So I asked her, I go to a 12-step program. It took me a year, trust me, because I stay away from a 12-step program. I never thought that I was an alcoholic. I never thought that I had problems with money. I never thought I had problems with relationships. All those things, I was in denial. So it took me another year. I knew about GreySheet 2012. So 2013, the summertime, I have diabetes. I have asthma. The in between my thighs, the shaping inside in between my thighs, no Vaseline, no talcum powder would suffice, the pain that I have at that time. So I said, you know what? I give up. Whatever you do, just let me know and I'll do that. So she said, why don't you go to the Sayasat meeting on Thursday? I said, okay, I'll do the Thursday Sayasat meeting. I went. I was desperate. So I went, 7 p.m. I see, somebody was here right now when I came in. And I said, this can't be it. GreySheeters, they're all slim. You guys are glowing when I came in. Everyone's like, the right size. And I was this size. And I said, I'm on the wrong place. I immediately back up, knowing me, because I have no idea where I'm going to. And somebody said to me, are you looking for GreySheet? Yes, I am. We are from GreySheet. I said, oh, wow. You must be kidding me. I don't think you know. I don't think you understand what I'm looking at, I was desperate. But then, an angel brought me to that room, and I just never left, I got so addicted with GreySheet, it's something that changed my life. A dream that I could never dream about, a life that I thought would never exist. So what do I do on a regular basis? I have an understanding now with a power greater than myself. I never knew that. I'm born Catholic. I was raised as an altar boy. It was an obligation for me to go to mass every Sunday. It was something that I had to go with my parents. I have 3 siblings, 4 of us dressed in nice white clothes, and we go to mass, and that's it. That's all I know. But then I never knew that, a different kind of higher power, a higher power who understands me, a higher power who gives me permission to make mistakes. And I learned that through the steps. So what do I learn? I'm fairly new in GreySheet. since 2013. What do I know now that I need to understand on a regular basis? So this is what I did when I qualified on my anniversary. My topic of my speaking was, I'm a beginner. I need to understand that I'm always a beginner. Keeping the heart of a newcomer, and this is me looking at my computer because I'm a geek, so I made it up. I'm just reading it right now, so that's me. So I'm a beginner, keeping the heart of a newcomer. It is a lifelong self-discovery, and I have the opportunity to rewrite my story by that GreySheet food plan, that amazing recovery, a story that I never knew that can exist. That's what I call the gift of abstinence. I am a beginner when I weigh and measure my meals of the GreySheet. I need to constantly remind myself that I am a beginner. It keeps on the vigilant space that I can easily go back to it keeps me away from that space where I could always go back on my old ways of masking my emotions with food, spending and reacting to every emotions that I'm feeling. When I came into GreySheet, yes, I had the food plan, the physical manifestation was taken care of by this amazing GreySheet food plan. Then I learned that there's another part of the equation, which I never knew in any diet plan. It's the steps would give me the mental, the emotional, the spiritual, amazing recovery that I never thought that I could have. But it's by working it daily in a regular basis that's contingent to what I do. So I put my weight in the amazing scale, and then all of those emotions comes up. I remember you guys have showed me that, I am as sick as my secrets. And I learned by having the clarity in GreySheet that I'm a big spender. I would bulk up my credit cards. I would not pay my bills on time, I would have collection agencies and those things. So I need to face those realities. And I belong to the money program now only because I have GreySheet. And I've been constantly, I have a few years in abstinence when it comes to my money program. And I am proud to say that I have an understanding of what abundant is. I would live beyond my means, yet my means will not define me. Abundance for me is not having, $1 million in the bank or a nice car. Well, I have a nice car because I like those nice cars. But it doesn't mean that I have $1 million. It means that I'm able to pay my bills in time. I don't need to wake up one day that the lights were off because I forgot to pay my LIPA. By the way, we got power outage for 4 days, and oh my God, I was just so anxious about the food. What happens if my food gets stale? Those things. I need to prepare my lunch, dinner. That's what I got from you guys. And I'm able to understand that it's not about the money. It's about how I transform myself, that I don't need to be on that part where it's like a barometer. I deprive myself of the things that I have. And on the other side, I'm entitled. I work so hard. I'm in healthcare. I've been working in the pandemic. I am entitled to buy a brand new blah, blah, blah. And then on the other side, I don't need those. I'm not going to pay my bills. I don't want to even look at my accounts right now. So what I learned from GreySheet, with that amazing scale, I'm able to understand that I could live abundantly. So I'm a beginner when it comes to my food. I need to understand that every day I need to go to the meetings because that's how I build my first defense against that first compulsive bite. I am powerless over my food, and I've realized in a daily basis that my life is unmanageable on step one, right? And then I learned from you guys the 4 P's. I plan, prepare, protect, and pray. I pray a lot now. Just simple say, this serenity prayer, it makes so much difference now. So how do I plan? I have my lunch bag. I don't know if you guys could see me. I carry this all the time. I've never left my apartment not without my lunch bag. Well, one time I went to see, I used to live in Jersey, that's right across the water from New York City to to New Jersey where I grew up, and I would see my family. I have two siblings there, and I have three amazing, two nephews and one niece. And what I always care, I carry a cup, I carry the scale. I belong to the anonymous program of scales, Joseph Scales, Alcoholic Anonymous, because I have Joseph scales in anywhere I have, in my sister-in-law's house, in my brother's house. I have two cars, in my two cars, at my work, anywhere I go. And guess what? I even bought like
5 minutes left, Joey.
Thank you. I have like 4 boxes of them that are unopened because I don't trust you guys. Because if you know that there's a scale like this, most likely it's gonna run out of Amazon, and I'll be in trouble when my battery runs low or something happens with my scale. So I bring it anywhere. I put it in my pocket, and that's it. What else do I have? I have my utensils. And one thing I learned from you guys, always bring, when you have those, those protein that you measured twice for each protein. And I always have this one because, I don't want to lick them, but I still lick them with my spatula. And I never knew to use this. I got it from every one of you who were so patient for me to learn how to be abstinent. I carry a spoon. By the way, it's in my mind, but I have a tablespoon, which I think is the biggest tablespoon that I have. How do you compare this with the other tablespoon? This is a tablespoon that I got from the Roundup. And this is a tablespoon that I got from one of my anniversaries. Don't you think this one is bigger? Well, it's in my mind, so I use them because I think that even though I'm allowed 1 tablespoon, in my mind, it's so much bigger. That's what I do. I carry them, the visuals. I carry them all the time because this is my arm. This is my investment. I need to understand that at all times, anywhere I go, I need to protect my abstinence. I'm a beginner when it comes to dealing with my emotions. This past few months, I've been doing a lot of those, when, you lost all the weight, you feel like you want to be caring with somebody else, and you get into those relationships and those things, and then it didn't work, so I get stuck, I always want to blame it on the other, to the other part, to the partner that I have. And then I've never realized that all I need to do, that's why I'm in a relationship program too, that all I need to take care of at this moment of time is myself. I need to understand that I need to build intimacy in myself first. I need to understand that the only control that I have, the only attitude that I have that I can take responsibility is my own self. So once I understand that I need to focus on myself, then things gets better. I'm saying this, maybe you're saying it has nothing to do with why are you talking about, the relationship program? But it does, because when I took care of those sugar, greens, and alcohol, and I have this clarity, and all those emotions are coming up, and it just never go away. So in order for me to do that, I'm able to understand that I also need to work on my relationship with my higher power, and my relationship with my sponsor, my relationship with my sponsees, and that's where the tradition stands for. With traditions, I'm able to understand and cope up with my personal emotions, my personal life. The steps gives me the chance, the ability to be where I am by understanding that, I could pause. In step 2, I could understand that there's a power greater than myself who could restore me to sanity. And step 3, I always remember that I need to go back on step 3. Step is so powerful. It tells me that, whenever your will run riot, you could always go to God's will. And that's what I learned. Turning my self-will to God's will instead of being the director, instead of being running the show, it would be from a self-directed, my direction into a God-directed life. And guess what? It always works my way. The serenity prayer, it always works wherever I am. There's a lot of things going on at work. I own a business, a small business in healthcare, and a lot of things are going. How bad New York was when it came to the COVID, fatalities that we do, and then lately we're getting so much better. But then it's all about what you need to do, what they were not able to help us, and that goes where the battle is.
Right.
So it doesn't matter, because you know what? I'm abstinent and grateful. I'm just going to continue coming back here. I'm just going to continue weighing and measuring my food. Thank you for letting me know the time. Appreciate that. That's what I said when I first came in. I'm a beginner. I'm just another bozo in the bus. And I'm just so grateful just for today that I weigh and measure my food of the gray sheet. And thank you for letting me share, and I'll pass.